Hey, it's Murad again. I'm back with another Soul Pages episode. Today I'm going to be going over the second chapter, which is Head Remedies. Stuff we're always freaking battling, which is mental challenges, dealing with the mind, learning how to harness the mind, how to use the mind in the best way possible rather than being used by it. In the page in the diagnosis, which I'm not going to go into today, I think the prescriptions are more interesting. He basically goes over how the mind is like an accumulation of information from like childhood. It just accumulates and accumulates and accumulates like a computer. It just keeps accumulating information, and that basically you never learn how to slow down, never know how to turn it off. There's no off switch for this computer, right? That is the mind. We never really learn how to deal with it. It just sort of does its thing, and we tend to sort of just get taken for a ride, right? What's the best way to put this? We are at the whims of the mind and its thought processes. We sort of take everything like for fact, for granted, and not learning how to use the mind in its best way becomes a serious downfall eventually. He talks about how meditation is the cure to this, because not only does it give you access to living at peace and knowing how to shut down and turn off and relax the mind when it's not needed, but it also gives you the ability to use your mind in its most profound and powerful ways, with great charisma, because it allows you to let it rest. And you know what happens to a computer when it never rests. It basically doesn't function optimally. It breaks down. It hallucinates. It causes all sorts of problems. So that's sort of what he basically talks about. A lot of other things too, in the diagnosis, and I think I will eventually make a video on that, but I want to just jump straight into the prescriptions, the first of the 12 techniques for taming the mind and dropping out of it. All right, let's get into the diagnosis. The first technique here is called enjoying the mind, and I want to give you a quick overview of it like I did in the last episode. There's two parts to this. The first part is observing the mind. So we tend to do this often, you know, when we get into meditation, you learn, oh, let me observe my breath. And then later on you learn, oh, let me observe the mind. And you notice your mind has all these thought processes that sort of feel really negative, feel really angry, feel really painful, resentful, things you don't really want to be going on in your head. You're like, why am I thinking this way? It's making me unhappy. It's causing all this turmoil within my life. It's causing all this unneeded anxiety in my body. It just bothers you. And you start to feel inimical towards it. That's the word he uses. You start to like create what's the word he uses? You divide yourself. You divide yourself from like, oh, I like this and I don't like that. But at the end of the day, you can't get anywhere with anyone and with yourself by being antagonistic towards it, right? It's been proven that negative reinforcement does not work as well as positive reinforcement. So in this technique, he talks about not just observing the mind, but enjoying the observation, looking at it with joy, with curiosity, and appreciating those weird ways that the mind like concocts its or creates its stories, the way it weaves and waxes and wanes and moves through, like from one little thought it'll come up with all sorts of other intriguing ideas, and you'll go down this rabbit hole. So like, this I think is a really difficult thing. I feel like I would have a lot of trouble doing this, but that is what he is recommending in this practice, to learn how to enjoy those thoughts. And as you do that, he says, indirectly you will build awareness, because awareness comes through the enjoyment and attention to a process. So indirectly you will receive moments where your mind kind of just takes a break and something's happening. And as your mind takes a break, you appreciate that, and then your mind will come back, and then you can appreciate that as well. All right, now I am going to read from Osho's words, specifically the technique of enjoying the mind. Here we go. Don't try to stop the mind. It is a very natural part of you. You will go crazy if you try to stop it. It will be like a tree trying to stop its leaves. The tree will go mad. The leaves are very natural to the tree. So the first thing is, don't try to stop your thoughts. It's perfectly good. The second thing, just not stopping will not be enough. The second thing is to enjoy it. Play with it. It is a beautiful game. Playing with the thoughts, enjoying it, welcoming it, you will start becoming more and more alert about it, more aware of it. But the awareness will come very, very indirectly. It will not be an effort to become aware. When you're trying to be aware, then the mind distracts you and you become angry with it. You feel that this is an ugly mind and it's constantly chattering. I definitely know how that one feels. You want to be silent, and it doesn't allow you. So you start feeling inimical towards the mind. That's not good. That is dividing yourself into two. Then you and the mind become two separate things. And conflict and friction start. All friction is suicidal, because it is your energy being wasted unnecessarily. We don't have that much energy to waste in fighting with ourselves. The same energy has to be used for joy. So start enjoying the thought process. Just see the nuances of thoughts, the turns they take, how one thing leads to another, how they get hooked into each other. It is really a miracle to watch. Just one small thought can take you to the farthest end. And if you look, you don't see any connections. Enjoy it. Let it be a game. Play it deliberately, and you will be surprised. Sometimes, just enjoying it, you will find beautiful pauses. Suddenly, you will find that a dog is barking and nothing is arising in your mind. No chain of thinking starts. The dog goes on barking, and you go on listening, and no thoughts arise. Small gaps will arise, but they are not to be produced. They come on their own, and when they come, they are beautiful. In those small gaps, you will start watching the watcher. But that will be natural. Again, thoughts will start, and you will enjoy that too. Go on easily. Take it easy. Awareness will come to you, but it will come indirectly. Watching, enjoying, seeing thoughts take their turn is as beautiful as seeing the sea with millions of waves. This too is a sea, and thoughts are waves. But people go on enjoying waves in the ocean and don't enjoy the waves in their consciousness. So beautifully said. I hope you enjoyed that. Share with me in the comments below what type of thoughts you notice yourself having. I notice myself, depending on my mood, depending on what's going on in my life, sometimes a string of thoughts will just carry me, will just like become this incessant force of like something that I was almost like addicted to the negative thinking when I'm going through something difficult at work or I'm going through something difficult within my personal life. Sometimes the thoughts just have so much strength, like a current, they just carry me. And like, I'm like, I don't want it. And like, kind of try to pull myself out of it. But, you know, you just get constantly pulled back in and pulled back in. And it's like torturing you. I'm sure many of you have experienced the same thing from time to time. Hopefully it's not a constant thing. I know some people are just incessantly in thoughts. And, you know, there's something beautiful that Eckhart Tolle says. He says that, you know, those incessant thinking that creates suffering in your life has a purpose. And the purpose to that suffering is to basically wake you up, to make it unbearable to be in that state, to want to change. So I really appreciate how he explains the indirect approach, that you do it through joy, and out of that joy, indirectly your awareness arises. And it's a beautiful thing. I hope you enjoyed that. Keep living, loving, leveling up. I hope you're enjoying these Soul Page episodes as much as I am reading them. And I will see you in the next episode of Soul Pages. Peace out.